Hey everybody, thank you for watching A Dash of Love, Cooking with Rhonda. Today we're going to do some sweet yeast rolls. We're having a thing at church tomorrow and I thought that would be something nice to take. But first I want to do a big shout out to my Uncle Walter and Aunt Kathy. He called today and told me that they were watching, and I so appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I miss you. But I had already, with that being said, I'd already started on my rolls. I had to charge up my phone. For some reason, the phone that I'm using now, it's not keeping a very good charge. But I'm going to give you the recipe, and I will put it in the description. It's pretty easy. These are called the sweet yeast rolls, and there is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I sifted mine. 1/4 of a cup of dusting, to dust your work area with so your dough won't stick. 2 beaten eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 of a cup of sugar. You don't have to use that much. You can use honey, anything that you prefer. The Splenda, anything like that. And you don't have to put it at all. You need to put just a little bit so the yeast will have something to feed on. You dissolve your 2 packets of active dry yeast in 1 cup of warm milk, whole milk. I put mine in the microwave for about a minute. Now, if you can't stick your finger in it, it's too hot. The yeast will not live. And then I added about 1/4 of a teaspoon of yeast into the milk. Not yeast, excuse me. 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar into the yeast so it can start eating. Never ever mix salt with yeast directly. It will kill it. Okay, always, go by your recipe. Then you got to have 4 tablespoons of melted butter, and make that real butter. Okay, and the thing with yeast is they love sugar, about like I do. And when they start eating, they put off carbon dioxide. They actually pass gas. And that's what causes the dough to rise. It causes the bubbles in the dough. And you don't want to kill it by having your water too hot, your milk too hot, or adding salt directly to your yeast. Okay? That's a fact. So, I will put all of the instructions in the description. And I've already got my dough rolled out. Well, it's not rolled out. I've got it here on my mat. I'm just going to show y'all. Got it out here on the mat here. Watch this. I hope this thing doesn't fall over, guys. I'm still trying to get going here. You just mix your flour and your sugar and your salt together. You mix it up, and then you add your milk and your butter and your eggs, your yeast mixture, and you mix it all together. And once you get it mixed, you let it sit for just like 15 minutes. And then you put it out on a lightly dusted work area or surface. And then you just start working it a little bit. Okay? And I always use this because it just helps pick the dough up. And then you just kind of move it around. Don't use too much flour, because if you do, you're going to have dry rolls. Now, the reason you need is you're redistributing your yeast. so it can have something else to eat. They have to be moved around, and therefore you will get a better rise. Now that's sticky, okay? I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll tell you what we're gonna do with this. I don't know if I said it before, but I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. I think I had about 1,000 robins in my front yard for several days. I guess they're foraging, trying to eat, get something to eat. Okay. Now, when you're getting ready to put your dough into another bowl, and I always like to put it in a clean bowl, some people don't. That's just me. With something like a yeast roll, now if you were doing pita bread or pizza dough, you could use olive oil. But since we want this to just taste like a yeast roll, we don't want to use olive oil unless you want your rolls to have that flavor. I'm using just a dash of vegetable oil. It's flavorless, and that's what you want. You want to scoop up your dough, plop it down in there, and just move it around some so it won't stick to your bowl. Okay? You may have to stick your fingers in there and just dab a little bit on top. And plus, it will keep your dough moist, and it will keep your dough from, you know, getting all cracked and dried. You don't want that. Okay? So I'm going to put this somewhere warm, snug as a bug, and we're going to cover it with a towel. What is it? Snug as a bug in a rug. Yeah. I'm going to cover it with a towel, put it somewhere that's warm, and we're going to let this rise for an hour. Okay? And I will be back. Oh, I wanted to tell you too, I'm going to try to do some other things today. Thinking about doing chicken wings for dinner. And I haven't used my air fryer in a while. So I'm thinking I'm going to do those in the air fryer. We'll see. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, look who's here.
Hey.
There's Too Tall.
Hey.
So the dough has got to sit for an hour. And I'm afraid my phone's going to go dead, and it probably will. I may do this in 2 segments. I'm probably going to have to. So when I come back about the wings, I may do the rolls, or I may do it before. I don't know. But I'll be back, okay?